This is a letter from an American soldier to his mother on Christmas Day 1915, describing his day in the village of Twyford. Edwin Abbey was born in Mount Holly, New Jersey, on September the 22nd, 1888. Edwin would have alighted from a troop train at Shawford railway station and then marched the 2.5 miles through the village of Twyford to the newly built Hazely military camp just outside the village of Twyford near Winchester. Edwin was a prolific letter writer, and many of his writings were published in a book entitled An American Soldier. His Christmas Day letter 1915 is portrayed in part here.
Dearest Mother, I woke at 5 o'clock this morning. The rain has stopped, and the moon and stars are bright. I dressed by the light of a candle in the cold. I walked some distance to Twyford, and could hear the bells of St. Mary's Church in the distance. The church is hidden among twisty lanes, and was difficult to find. Having found the church, I had a little while to wait until the 8 o'clock service. St. Mary's is a beautiful little church, kept in wonderful order, and must be quite old. There is the neatest imaginable churchyard, in an old yew tree that the villagers say is the oldest in this part of England. The church is stone and very pretty. Inside was decorated with holly, big white chrysanthemums, and lilies, with 2 Eucharist candles burning on the altar. After the service, it had started to rain again, and I made my way to a little inn for breakfast. You could imagine how cheerful it was to come in from the beating rain to a fire in the hearth, and a huge, delicious piece of ham, 2 lovely eggs, fresh bread and butter and jam, and a big pot of tea. A delicious meal at any time, but to a man used to army rations and wartime rations, it was a banquet. I sat and basked in the comfort of it all, and felt that, in spite of the weather, my Christmas was being very lovely. I paid 1 shilling and 6pence. I felt that I had a lot more than my money's worth, as food is very expensive here these days, especially eggs. The sun has come out, and there are patches of blue sky which promise to grow larger. I think I will walk to Winchester. I have never seen it by daylight, and go to an evening church service there. I will write again tomorrow. Always your loving son, Edwin.
Edwin was soon in France and was injured on April 23, 1916, when he was shot through the left shoulder, and spent some time recovering at King's Hospital, London. While in London, he had the chance to visit friends and family and attended services at St. Paul's Cathedral. He returned to France on active service on the 16th of December 1916. On April 10, 1917, Edwin was at Vimy Ridge, defending a strategic spot he had argued to continue defending due to its significance. He had recently discovered that America had entered the war, and wrote of his joy that he was fighting for his own country. Shortly after dawn on April the 10th, Edwin was shot through the heart by a German sniper and killed. Edwin was buried close to where he fell, surrounded by his fellow officers and men, with his face to the enemy lines. His family erected a cenotaph for him at the family plot in Mount Holly, New Jersey. A letter dated April the 6th, 1917, found in Edward's kit after his death, read,
I do not think of death, or expect it, but I am not afraid of it, and will give my life gladly if it is asked. My heart is full of gratitude for having such love as they have given me. Now, dearest mother and dearest father, I will say goodbye for a time. All my love, and God bless you both. Your son.
This shows the site today, Hazely Camp, also known as Hazely Down Camp, or just Hazely Down, was built to quickly train enlisted men into commissions due to a shortage of army officers. It covered 105 acres and could train some 6,000 troops before serving overseas. Hazely Camp, sometimes known by its occupants as Mud Camp, was one of several military camps in the Winchester area. This transition gives an idea of the camp's location and size. A LiDAR image of the camp shows some detail, a ghost of the past. After the war ended, the camp was dismantled and many of the huts sold, but before dismantling, it had been suggested that the huts be converted to more permanent buildings as the roads, water supplies and infrastructure had already been developed. However, this was not to happen, and thus today all has been returned to agriculture, with little evidence of the camp remaining, with the exception of the memorial cross, which is set back from the road along a public footpath, but is worth seeking out.